Hey guys, Eric here, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a review and I'll be giving my thoughts on the G1 Climax 34 final. And it was awesome to see Zack Sabre Jr. finally win the G1 and get a meaningful victory. And this year hits a little more close to home, I should say, because last year I was actually in Ryogoku for the G1 final, and New Japan has changed a lot, and a lot has happened since that point. But I feel like although a lot of what has happened has not been the best, I feel like the results of this tournament is definitely a step in the right direction. Alright, so the opening contest is Shoma Kato, Yuji Nagata, and Tiger Mask taking on Tenkozi, which is made up of Hiroyoshi Tenzan and Satoshi Kojima, alongside Ryusuke Taguchi. Interesting note here is that Kojima is coming out as MLW champ, so that's always really cool to see. And also makes you really happy to see the funny lariat bread man still kicking it. Shoma Kato tries to make a name for himself by aggravating Tenzan. A lot of the fun greatest hits were out here during this one. A nice spinning backbreaker, a rolling ass attack, Kojima chopping the shit out of people and getting 20 years of energy back against Nagata. Tiger Mask gets a nice Tiger Driver in as well. Shoma Kato comes back in and tries to end it quickly so he doesn't have to do a few hours of suicides for the rest of the show. Just like how, I get a lot of PTSD from my college football video. Dude, like, you can't make this shit up.
Player of the game only had 90 receiving yards.
Suicides next session. No! 24 hours of suicides is not enough. Their girlfriends cheating on them is not enough. But the experience of Tenzan and Taguchi is just too much for the moment. But no matter what he could get in, it wasn't enough to defeat the team of vets. Shoma Kato, you are a Las Vegas Raider. Alright, so after that we have Katsuya Murashima taking on my favorite Doki Doki Literature Club streamer, Taichi. Just seeing Miho Abe on that Tron again makes me miss her even more. After some back and forth, Morishima gets the upper hand, Taichi gains control with a super kick, but the fighting spirit of Morishima gives him some much needed breathing room. Morishima tries to get a German in, but Taichi fights out yet again. A well-timed roll-up almost gives Morishima a shocking upset. And another kick out leaves Taichi flustered, and Taichi puts it away with one last backdrop. While it was an efficient victory for Taichi, what a showing for Morishima, and what a platform for this young lion. Following that, we have Konosuke Takeshita and Francesco Akira taking on TMDK, being represented by Robbie Eagles and Mikey Nichols. Can I just say, what a G1 run for Takeshita. Legitimately having some of the best matches of the night day in and day out. I obviously believe that one of the bigger standout matches from that entire run was the classic that he had with Phantasmo, but you just knew even from the beginning when he was facing Yota Tsuji, I think it was like night 1 or night 2, that this run was going to be something special. Unfortunately for us TMDK boys, there was no sight of Shane Hayes twerking for us sickos. And I mean real sickos, not whatever Tony Khan thinks a sicko is. Mikey and Takeshita have a stiff start to the contest, and Eagles and Akira bring the banging fast-paced junior style that we all love to see. Eagles dives through the ropes onto Takeshita and takes out a table for good measure. TMDK take control with good offense, but an enziguri allows Akira to make a hot tag to Konosuke. Takeshita sends Robbie for a ride, but his momentum is then halted by a DDT by Nichols. Akira and Eagles light it up yet again, and is followed by a nasty dropkick to the back of the head, and then a splash that isn't enough to put away TMDK. Nichols and Eagles hit Akira with a Death Valley dropkick, but Takeshita makes the save. Eagles hits a super kick, but gets sent right into a Blue Thunder Bomb and a Speed Fire. Eagles dodges, and it allows TMDK to cap off the G1 tournament with a hard-fought victory. Kosei Fujita also gets a wholesome Chungus Reddit moment with the boys before they head off to the back. In our fourth match of the night, we have Doki, Sanada, and Taka Michinoku representing Just 5 Guys, taking on the Bullet Club and the War Dogs, being represented by Drilla Maloney, Clark Connors, and Taiji Ishimori. Look at the aura the War Dogs have here. I'm pouring it all over you, my Pookie Wookie Kings. But speaking of aura, look at Doki and Just 5 Guys. It's literally all over my screen right now. My ovaries are calling for their masters. The crowd barking for the War Dogs isn't the only thing that's barking right now, I can tell you that. Doki and Ishimori almost cap it out right away against each other with some near falls. Sanada hits a Hurricane Rana and sends Maloney into paradise with a paradise lock. Great tag maneuvers here by Connors and Maloney, no surprise there. and this ends up setting up the War Dogs on top of the match for the time being. Bullet Club sent Taka into the turnbuckle a few times just to really hammer in their dominance right now. Michinoku manages to get both members of the War Dogs into holds and dissects them piece by piece. And this flurry of offense allows Doki and Sonata to hit dual dives to really change the momentum. Ishimori bounces off with an enziguri, hits Doki with a knee, and caps off the match with a bloody cross to Taka Michinoku. Bullet Club stands tall once again. Alright, going on from that, we have Chaos, represented by Tomoaki Hanma, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi, taking on the Bullet Club War Dogs and Jake Lee, Gabe Kidd, and David Finlay. A lot of interesting factors in this one. Gabe Kidd fighting with the concept of either being a mad bastard or being the future of New Japan. Hiroki Goto coming into this frustrated, following another subpar G1 run. David Finlay probably feeling twice that due to just being eliminated in the semifinals. And of course, the beginning of the Mad Bastards tag team. Of course, that tag team being made up of Jake Lee and Gabe Kidd. So you gotta wonder, how are they gonna hold up against a more solidified team like Bishamon? Gato making sure to pop pussy right away, showing no love to the members of his former faction. Right off the bat, crowd is really behind Goto here, and Bishamon make quick work of the War Dogs, sending them all to the outside. Hanma joins in as all three men proceed to beat David Finlay's meat. Jake Lee turns into public enemy number 1 of Base World by bullying Yoshihashi. Gabe Kidd is tagged into a big pop in Ryogoku. Goto and Kidd cook with lariats and take each other out. Hanma misses his Kokeshi, which allows Jake Lee to take control, to the absolute sound of silence. Lee hits a kick and is taken out by a diving Kokeshi by Hanma. Some miscommunication allows Hiroki Goto to get back in control, but David Finlay puts an end to his momentum and sends Yoshihashi into oblivion, but he still manages to kick out. A reverse Hurricane Rana allows Yoshihashi to roll up the IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion for the pin and the win. And Chaos stands tall, and Yoshihashi is now the new number 1 contender. Finlay promises to kill those motherfuckers, but knowing his track record, that shit is not happening. After that, we have Shota Umino, El Phantasmo, Bolton Oleg, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Toru Yano taking on the House of Torture, represented by Evil, Dick Togo, Sho, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Yujiro Takahashi, and also Ren Narita. I was talking about Aura earlier, but the babyface team comes out absolutely devouring. I mean, no food, just serving, leaving no crumbs, slaying like it's nobody's business, absolutely ovulate. Bolton Oleg with the hardest fit known to man. Umino EOP taking photos of babies. This is the literal dictionary definition of GOAT status. House of Torture, on the other hand, come out absolutely ready to shit the bed with the most potent dookie caca known to man. But there's something that just screams real graps about that, you know? El Phantasmo is given an invitation to join the House of Torture, and he ponders on it, allowing them to take control right away. For those who don't know, ELP's story throughout the G1 was his mental slump. He's at such a low point where he just doesn't feel motivated and needs to find that passion again. It's mentioned on commentary how House of Torture always manages to prey on the weak, and for ELP, everyone he's ever trusted has left him in the dust. And it includes, but not limited to, Gorillas of Destiny, which is Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, Hikuleo, and David Finlay. They've all left him in one way or another. Oleg comes in and absolutely gets the show out. What a beast this guy is. We need as much of this guy as possible. The Ichiban Beat Boy, though, can only do so much before House of Torture takes control again. Oleg hits a dropkick and gets a hot tag to my washed goat. Hiroshi Tanahashi hits a senton, but Evil sends a ref right into his way to stop the momentum. Everyone starts getting their shots in, but EOP rushes in, making his choice to fight against the House of Torture. But a staged chair attack causes EOP to once again believe he's been turned on. Dick Togo and Evil take Tanahashi out, and EOP has the opportunity to break up the pin, but he just doesn't. Evil gives EOP the ultimatum, but Jado steps in to stop him. The gaslighting continues to get to his head. EOP throws out the chair, and he and Jado try to take out the House of Torture. Narita lays them out both with his contraption, and Bullet Club proceed to beat up Phantasmo one last time before heading to the back in victory. So in the semi-main event, we had the United Empire, represented by Jeff Cobb, Great Khan, Callum Newman, and Hinare, taking on Los Ingobernables de Japón, LIJ, represented by Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Tetsuya Naito, and Shingo Takagi. Shingo comes out limping, showcasing not only the damage he sustained along the tournament, but also in his semi-final war against Zack Sabre Jr. This is like the third time I've mentioned Aura in this video, but LIJ just has that unmatched Duke Dennis levels of Riz right here. LIJ hits their fist bump before setting the tone right away. Jeff Cobb makes easy work of Bushi, but Bushi manages to outsmart him. We get some nice hoss fighting between Cobb and Shingo. That moonsault never ceases to amaze me by Jeff Cobb. Newman showing the world why he's Will Ospreay's son by doing his best impression of him. My other crippled goat comes in and takes control of Newman, but a springboard dropkick sends Naito flopping onto the mat. I'll always get a big pop seeing Okan wearing a fake Grand Order logo on his shorts. Okan gets a really good sit on Naito. Now imagine the stench. Hinare and Hiromu get at it with one another, and a good flurry allows them to get the upper hand on Hinare. But a Berserker Bomb changes the tone right away. More hoss action by Cobb and Takagi makes my dingling go boing boing. Bushi hits a nice dive onto the United Empire. Hinare hits a killer knee on Hiromu, but a shock roll-up gets LIJ the win, leaving Hinare in absolute shock. Bro is absolutely flabbergasted. Naito and Okan also have a stare-down post-match, setting up 2 matches for the very near future, as Takahashi looks to capture the never openweight championship and Okan sets his sights on the IWGP title. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the main event, the G1 Climax 34 final, as Yota Tsuji takes on Zack Sabre Jr. ZSJ and Yota have something sadly in common, winning the New Japan Cup just to be fed to the IWGP champion at the time, just because it was Forbidden Door season. There's some nice back and forth in the beginning here, and a rebound off the rope allows for a massive shoulder tackle by Yota. ZSJ goes right after the fingers and stomps Tsuji's arm out. ZSJ gets a sick uppercut, Tsuji reverses it into a backbreaker and hits a dive. A lovely sequence leads to a lariat and a falcon arrow by Tsuji, and a devastating curb stomp just to boot. ZSJ completely fucks Yota's arm on the ropes before kicking it in from the top turnbuckle. The Gene Blaster is reversed into an armbar. A powerbomb is then reversed into a knee, but he still manages to kick out. A nasty headbutt allows an opening for Yota to send Zack Sabre Jr. crashing onto the mat from the top. Zack balls out with everything that he has, but Yota fights back again. Another Gene Blaster is reversed into a pin, but it still isn't enough to get the win. It's going to take a lot more to put Yota Tsuji away. A reversal stunner, another Gene Blaster is reversed into a triangle. And now Zack Sabre Jr. has an armbar locked in tight, absolutely putting Tsuji into enough agony for him to submit. And with that, Zack Sabre Jr. is your G1 Climax 34 winner. Zack Sabre Jr. makes the choice to break tradition and not wait for the Tokyo Dome for his title shot. He ends up challenging Naito for the IWGP at King of Pro Wrestling. Of course, what comes in the way of that matchup is Naito still has to defend the title against Great-O-Khan. Hey guys. Eric here, and this part of the video is gonna be unscripted. I'm just gonna wing it, just kind of express how I feel about how I want to, well, more so the direction I want to take these types of videos, and then some other things in my mind as well. But for the most part, let's start with the videos. So it took me like a week to edit this, and it shouldn't have taken that long. Work got in the way, and as the days went on, I kind of lost motivation to finish it, because as I was, going about editing it, whoa, that's another problem I'm definitely gonna start working on. My enunciation, how I get the words out, and also the script itself, because I feel like, my scripts are usually very weak. I definitely feel I should start, letting them cook a little more. Oh my god. But I just kind of felt the content within the video wasn't the best, and I know that they can be better, which is something I'm gonna definitely for sure work on when the next one comes out. 'Cause I do want to make more content where I write, because I've noticed that I really do enjoy writing, and I definitely want to get better at that. And of course, your writing can only be so good when you're making a video. You also want to be able to express what those words mean, because that's also very important. You want to give them life, and not just sound soulless and robotic and sound like you're reading a script, which is what I will honestly say I sound like a lot of the time. But yeah, that's neither here nor there for that. Another thing too is that because I took a week to make this video, a lot has happened in the wrestling world, And also a lot has happened in the wrestling world since the last time I made a video like this. But All In happened yesterday, and what a show that was. I thought it was way better than last year by a large margin. And Mariah May, Tony Storm, absolute banger. Those two killed it. The Casino Gauntlet, fantastic. Getting to see Nigel come back got such a pop out of me. And it was just so based. And words can't even describe how sweet it was to see him face guys like, Okada, Roddy. You got Mark in there, Kyle O'Reilly, Zack Sabre Jr. Awesome. That match too had the debut of Ricochet in AEW. So hopefully you can have a good run. I feel like it's going to be better than how WWE treated him. But I don't expect him to be some top guy. But I do think if they let him be more free with how he wrestles, I think we should be expecting a lot of bangers to come from this. I know he's facing Kyle Fletcher on Dynamite. Those two should probably put on some good work. So I'll definitely be watching with that. Swerve and Danielson, one of my matches of the year. The story told him that. Great. Just great stuff there. That's like the type of stuff, that really just gives you the feeling, And truth be told too, as much as I didn't care about the story with MJF and Ospreay, I honestly am not a big fan of MJF. I think he just cuts the same promo every single week. And I've tried giving him chances. I've tried to be a fan. But it just doesn't work for me. But that match was really good too. Oh yeah. I don't know why they had to waste this on the kickoff. But Jamie Hayter being back. The women's division. Saved. Hopefully she can whoop Mercedes' ass and get that title. I just want Jamie Hayter to be back on top again, alright? We need some of that top tier shit. I need her to face Riho and Hikaru Shida again. I feel like a lot of things, maybe anything could be better than the current product in that women's division. And a wrestler who has impressed me a lot over the summer has been Tavion Heights. I know when they announced him for the N1, I was like, who the fuck is this, right? I know he was announced alongside Josh Briggs, but fuck Josh Briggs. Tavion though, he's fucking awesome. I want to see more of him. I hope he gets showcased more in NXT, because that run, especially with the matches he put on with guys like Keno, like, this guy is seriously talented. I know he still has, years ahead of him. He's still young, but he already got praised by Muto and Marufuji. And if I was Tavion, I wouldn't be taking shit from Shawn Michaels. Like, I know at that point, like, that means you must be doing something right, And I know a lot of people, especially the Poro crowd, they were not too happy with his, his, what's I'm looking for? His inclusion in the tournament. But I feel like he's proved that he was a valuable asset. I think he proved that that spot definitely should have gone to him. And I hope he gets more chances like this to shine. I know he's in Dempsey's faction, and Dempsey's another great wrestler. I'm glad they sent him over to Japan as well when he faced Nakajima. That was also another banger, even though it was really short. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. It was just me just rambling, just kind of wanted to put out there how I feel at the moment about the product that I'm putting out on my channel and how I want to improve. But yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.